Amir, I hope you don't mind getting the net. It's another eating size walleye. Some of these grow quite large. You know, you can get these walleye to 10, 12 pounds. But I tell people that the smaller fish are the ones that are better for eating. Under 17 inches, I find from about 14 to 17 inches, they're ideal eating size. Believe it or not, even for men of our mature physique, you have 2 or 3 of these fish, the fillets, and it's a meal with some vegetables, you know, or potatoes. The way this fish hit the lure, he had both hooks in his mouth, the front one and the back one, tells me they're very aggressive. When a fish is not aggressive, he follows the lure and hits the back hook. When they're very aggressive, they go for the head, boom, to eat it. So this is a good sign. Yuda, would you mind putting this guy in the live well? This is like the fish market. You got him? Don't get spined, okay? Perfect. Now, Amir, one of the things that attracts people from all over the world to Israel is the spectacular locations. The one thing I'm hoping to do when we film there is show Masada, because, you know, and I tell people, have you seen the movie Masada? You know, with Peter O'Toole, and I forgot the other guy that's in it. It's a classic, you know. But from the north to the south, it's a country that has such unique geography and beautiful places.
It's unbelievable. When you think that we're now very close to Lake Ontario,
yes,
that Israel is the same size as Lake Ontario. And in one tiny country, you have sceneries like you're in a continent. You have at the north, you have Mount Hermon, which people are snowing on in the winter.
Yep.
And then 1.5 hours drive, you're in the one of the most hottest places in the world, the Bet She'an Valley, and then another hour drive and you're in the Dead Sea. No fish there.
No, not
but
yet.
You can try.
Not yet.
Probably you'll be the first one who will get some fish in the Dead Sea.
You know, if you're going to do some serious crankbait fishing and you're going to be using a titanium braid line, it's really important to have the right fishing outfit. As you can see, I've chosen to go with spinning outfits because they're much versatile when it comes to casting light lures and casting into the wind. The ideal rod length is 7 feet. And it doesn't matter whether you use a 1 or 2-piece rod. Now the 2 rods that I'm holding up, one is called an R-type and one is a Vantis. You can see the top one that is rated for line weight, I think it's from 4 to 12 pound test. So it would be considered medium action. But you know what? These rods are a little bit on the stiff side, which is ideal when it comes to crankbait fishing. Now the one thing that these 2 rods have in common, they both have what's called split grips. And what I mean by split grip, if you look back here, you'll notice that the grip isn't all one piece. It's almost like they forgot to put some cork here or some PVC material. They've done that so that the rods are lighter, they're more sensitive, because you know, as soon as you cover a blank, it takes away, it insulates the actual vibrations that you feel when you're fishing. And they've also extended the butt a little bit longer, but they've put a little bit of a grip at the back end. So this is called split grip. It's ideal because they're lighter, more sensitive, but it still enables you to use both hands to catapult when you cast, especially when you want to make a long cast. Now you also notice that both of them have very short foregrips. You see how short the foregrip is? The reason they've done that is, again, for sensitivity and lightweightness. So when I'm fishing with this rod and my hand is in the proper position, there's just enough cork for me to have my finger, my trigger finger there. And in this particular case on the R-type, which is their tournament series, when I have my hand in the right position, look at where my finger is, right on the blank. Do you think that's going to be sensitive? Very sensitive. And believe it or not, this is also very comfortable. A lot of people think that you need to have a lot of cork or other material up here. You don't. A catfish is a very interesting fish because it has a skin that's almost like leather. So it doesn't really have scales on it. A catfish has whiskers. And the whiskers that are around its mouth are called barbels, almost like the barbells that you use for dumbbells, you know, for exercising, barbells. Those barbels are used to taste. So believe it or not, a catfish, if you've ever seen one in an aquarium, do you have an aquarium, either one of you?
No.
If you have an aquarium, sometimes they have algae eaters, which are a type of catfish, and they go along the bottom, and they're constantly swimming with their body, and they're covering the bottom, and they're eating anything that they find that's food, and eat a lot of the algae. That's why they call them algae eaters. So the reason they cover a lot of water with their body, they can taste with the outside of their body. Wouldn't it be neat that if I said to you, you know, if this was a piece of meat, do you want to see what that tastes like? And you went, That tastes good, just by touching it instead of putting it in your mouth. Catfish can do that because they have taste sensory organs on the outside of their body and on their barbels. The only problem with catfish is that if you hook one, you have to be very careful when you handle them because they have spines where their pectoral fins are, the fins that come out here, and their dorsal fin, they have spines that can be 2-3 inches long. And if you don't know they're there and you go to grab it, you could get spined, and that would hurt.